Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon. This is Somasundar, a QA expert. So today let's discuss some of the important segregated and collated scenario or situation-based interview questions. So the first question comes, you are asked to automate a functionality that is not yet fully developed. How do you handle this? And then the second question comes, if a test fails at particular situation, what will be your next immediate approach, or what's going to be your next step immediate that you take? If the application has minor changes, what would be your approach to modifying the automation script? That would be your third question. And then how would you automate login functionality for any particular website? So how do you automate a test scenario where you need to check if an email is sent after a user registration? If there is a scenario that takes a long time to execute, would you prefer manual testing or automation testing? And why do you prefer that? How would you automate a scenario where you need to validate the contents of the downloaded file after clicking on a button on a web page? How would you automate a scenario where you need to validate a specific color, font size, and position of the element on a web page? And then the ninth question comes, how would you handle the pop-up windows or alert boxes in your automation script? How would you automate a scenario where you need to verify if a user is able to scroll down a web page until the footer section is visible? And then the 11th question comes, like, you have been asked to automate a legacy application. What will be your approach? And then the 12th questions come, like, say for example, you have wrote a script which was working fine yesterday, but it's failing today. So how are you going to troubleshoot the issues? Next, the 13th question, uh, it's missing. So yeah, I'll add it in the notes. So your 14th question comes, your automation script is failing due to a change in the application. How would you handle this? And what will be your approach? And then 15th question comes, how would you automate a scenario where you need to validate a specific color, font, and position of an element on the web page? I think I have already discussed this question in the previous. I think I have added it as a duplicate. Sorry for that. Yeah. Now I added the 13th question. Say for example, your automation scripts are running slowly. How are you going to improve the speed? How are you going to fine tune the code or the script? Okay, guys, I have written detailed answers for all of these interview questions, and I have collected all the end-to-end interview questions as similarly in the interview. You can crack any SDET or automation interviews using this preparation guide, which contains a lot of questions from scratch to end, and this is applicable for all the 0 to 15 years of experience. So I'm going to provide the below link in the description box. Kindly check. Thank you. Thank you for watching.